Hi, hello everybody. Thank you for joining me today on Christine's Awesome Things. And today I'm going to be making my apple pie. And I started my apple pie and I thought, hey, I might as well go ahead and do a video to show you how I make my apple pie. So that's what I'm doing today. And I'm not going to make this a long video, okay? We're not going to be sitting here measuring out everything and doing this and that and the other. I put the ingredients and the measurements down below so you'll know exactly what the measurements are and be able to do it on your own, okay? So what I have here are Granny Smith apples. I love Granny Smith apples because they are tart and tangy. And when you add your sugar and everything and salt, it just kind of makes it a tangy, sweet type of pie. Okay. I used 6 of these and peeled them, cored them, and cut them. And that's enough to make one pie. Okay. My apples are this thickness. I make them kind of thick because once you cook them down and then they go in the oven and everything, they shrink. All right. So as I said before, the ingredients and measurements are going to be down below. I'm going to put them down below for you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you and work with and tell you exactly how I assemble everything. All right. So after everything is skinned and cored and cut up, I add lemon juice, my lemon extract and vanilla extract. And I mix them into the apples. And I let them soak it in for about 30 minutes. Just soak it all in. Then I go in and I add my brown sugar and regular sugar, my cinnamon, my nutmeg, and my salt. And mix it in. Mix it all in. Alright? And then once you mix that all in, you're going to set it aside. And then you're going to get you a pan or a pot, okay? And you're going to cook the apples down in your butter. All right, so this is a whole stick of butter that I have in here. And I have the stove on medium low. And I'm going to add the apples and the juices and everything all to this pan. And with this added, we're just going to, first of all, make sure we coat this butter all over the apples. Just make sure we're getting all that butter on the apples. Now that we've made sure that the butter is all over the apples, we are going to let these cook down. Now, we are not going to let these cook all the way down. We're going to let them cook until they're just tender. Just a little bit. We don't want to overcook them because they still have to go into the oven. And if you overcook them and then put them into the oven to cook them some more, they will be mushy. All right, so this right here is going to be in here a good 5 to 6 minutes. Once your apples start to boil, go ahead and sprinkle on a tablespoon of cornstarch directly into your apples and stir them up. This is going to give your apples its thickness. You see any clumps in there as you're stirring it around, don't worry, they will come out. already a difference. It's already getting a thickness going on there. I'm going to give this another minute. And not only is it making the apples a little tender, but it's also cooking all those sugars and spices right into the apples. So while your apples are cooling, you're going to make your pie crust, and make sure that when you make your pie crust, you add some little holes using a fork at the bottom of your pie crust and around the sides. This will aerate your pie crust and keep it from bubbling, because you don't want it to bubble while it's in the oven. Make sure you aerate it pretty good. And I'm going to pour these apples into my pie crust. Sure I press them down in there. I want the juice in there because this is going to thicken up as the apples cook. The apples will become smaller and the juice will become thicker. Alright, so right here I have an egg wash. There's one egg with a little bit of cream that I beat together, and my strips. So we're going to lay these strips across here. It doesn't matter what size you do. And then I'm going to flip these like so. Add another strip here. Then another. But actually it's going to be every other one. And then like this. Bring it down. Ones. And then the other side, which is going to be like so. Bring it down. Sure that it's every other one. Put these up. And last one, just going to take these pieces on here. Press them together like this. Lay it across there. Got some overhang there, so we can just take those and press them together. Then this overhang, I'm just going to tuck under here like this. If they're really long, you can just kind of take it off of there. Like this. Long piece, so I'm just going to tuck, tuck, tuck. Make sure I give it a little press as I tuck. Now that that's on there, we're going to add our egg wash. With the egg wash, you want to make sure that you're getting all the spots, because if you don't, you're going to have white spots all on your pie crust. So make sure you're brushing that egg wash on there good, getting in the crevices. Gently, not too hard. And of course, you're not going to use all of the egg wash, so be prepared to have to throw some of it out. The egg wash gives your pie crust that shine. And I also have cinnamon and brown sugar mix. It's just a tablespoon of sugar and a quarter teaspoon of cinnamon. Mix it together. If you prefer a little bit more cinnamon, you can add a little more. Mix it together. Make sure when you spread this on there, you're getting in the cracks or crevices and around the pie crust. This is all nice and beautiful looking. Here, let's fix this right here. All right, so next I am going to sprinkle the brown sugar. Now I'm going to put this on a cookie sheet. Yes, I have an old cookie sheet and I have new ones. I love the old one because it's great for stuff like this. My new cookie sheet is for cookies. Next, this is sort of like an overhang. This is going to keep your pies from burning around the edges because the edges tend to cook faster. So I'm tinting the edges, but I'm not going to actually press the foil on the edge. This is a little trick that I learned. So around there. Before I would put the foil right on the edges, and I realized that the foil was sticking. So I figured I would tint it around without actually touching it. So I started doing this. So it's just a foil that's been doubled for thickness and so to be able to stand, and then I bend it over the edges like this, kind of tuck it around here up under the pie crust, and then make sure you just bring it down around the edges. Don't have to have it too far over, just enough so that it'll hang over the edges of the pie. You want to make sure that it's kind of tight around the pie as well. So that's why I kind of tuck it inward there. Make sure it's not actually touching the pie, but just around it. Tuck around the bottom and then kind of pull it around like so. There we go. And then I'm going to put this in my preheated oven on 400 degrees. And it's going to cook for about 30 to 35 minutes, and then we'll take it out and see what we got. So I just took my pie out of the oven. Was in there for 35 minutes, and this is what it looks like. Yeah, don't try that at home. See? Absolutely beautiful, perfect pie. This is how you make a pie. So give this recipe a try, and the ingredients and everything and how to make it will be down below. Go ahead and make it, try it. Tell me what you think about it. Give me your comments and let me know how it tastes. And so this has been Christine of Christine's Awesome Things. Like and subscribe, comment below, try my recipes, let me know what you think. If there's anything that you think I can improve on with the recipe after you give it a try, let me know. I take all criticism and advice.